Hey everybody, welcome to the Wellness Garden Tool Shed. My name is Leah and I am your manifesting queen or teacher or mentor, whatever you want to call it. I like queen. I think queen's kind of fun. If you've never been here before, I am an energy reader. I read cards. I'm using actually the Angel Tarot deck today. And I love teaching about energy because it works. Manifestations actually work when you actually put your mind to it, and there's some steps you have to take. So it's law of attraction plus law of action equals results. And I think what happens in this day and age, we want things to happen like right now, and things don't always have that kind of speed to what you're trying to manifest. But it's not over until you say it's over. So an example of this is I was just in LA over the weekend, and went to the Viper Room to go see my son's band, Dame. And he's the lead guitarist in that. And it was their first show in the States. They played the Marciac Festival in France and had a blast and stuff. And I've been to a lot of local bands, and my son's been playing guitar since he was 12, and performed since he was 12. So this is now taken it to a whole new level. And what's really cool about this too is the bass player, Johnny Hines, he also has known Kyle for the last 10 years and was in bands, and they've done multiple shows, so they have this chemistry. And then we got to meet Alexis, the rhythm guitarist, piano, vocals. He plays everything. He's like a musical genius. Such a nice person. Oh my gosh. It's finally this cohesive band, and Brian is the drummer, Viglione, and he is got enthusiasm that is just unmatched. And then you have Veronica Swift, who she's also pro level and has done just wonders when it comes to performing, and she's a jazz singer. But she's had this dream about having a rock band. She's 31 and she wants to get out there, and this whole band is like, I don't know, they're just nice. Not only are they talented, but they're nice. So my point is that, there's been a lot of heartache with a lot of band members quitting. Some crazy stuff's happened along the way. But you know what? The journey's not over, right? It's just beginning. And it took a long time to get to this level. But had Johnny or Kyle or any of them given up on their dream, I wouldn't have got to see this fabulous performance over the weekend. So I am a firm believer because I've seen it with my children. I mean, my daughter's a real estate agent, and she's been doing it since she was 16. And that girl's on fire. And yes, we're in a crazy economy, a crazy, political climate that's affecting money and stuff. She's still doing it. She's busy. So it's all about your energy and what you believe, and keeping your eye on the prize, keeping your vibration higher so you can attract the people into your life. And when you're insecure, sometimes you attract things that are not so great. And when you finally start to evolve and get secure, and I'm not saying we're not going to go through little ups and downs with our security, because that's just human nature, but really paying attention to who you're surrounding yourself with. Are they uplifting you, or are they bringing you down? Because, I've had some experiences lately where I thought this was an experience that would bring me up, and come to find out, not so much. And I got to really be mindful of what I'm doing, because I want people to achieve greatness. I want to achieve greatness. I want my son and my family and my daughter and my husband, everybody, to do well in life and be happy. Most of all, be happy, and happy with what they're doing and not struggling in life. LA is an interesting place because you have people on like the high level of influencers and healthy and making money and rich and wealthy, and 6.5 miles later you're in poverty stricken areas. And that's a real hard place to get out of if you're surrounded by it. Who you surround yourself with is very important, and what you're feeding your brain and your energy. And so this is the whole reason of starting the Wellness Garden Tool Shed, because it was about building your mind, body, and soul. And yes, I'm a hairstylist, and our bodies are important too. What are you doing to them? Are you feeding it a bunch of sugar and toxic stuff that's bad for you, that's affecting the chemicals in your brain? Or are you working out to raise those endorphins, getting outside, getting some sunshine, those kind of things. And then what are you feeding your mind? What are you looking at? Are you looking at negativity all day long? Are you looking at somebody trying to compare yourself with them and it's making you feel down? Are you listening to the news that's just negative all day long, or gossip or drama? What are you reading? You can kind of tell by somebody's book collection, their library, of where their mindset is. And then again, we got to feed our soul. We do have this energy that doesn't die. That's what I consider the soul, is the energy, the essence that's really inside of you, that's operating this physical body. Your eyes send messages to your brain, and then the brain interprets them and then gives you these signals and stuff. So what's operating the brain? Just saying. So let's see what the energy holds this week. I am using the Angel Tarot deck from Radleigh Valentine and Doreen Virtue. She no longer does this kind of stuff because I don't know what happened to her. I guess she drank some Kool-Aid, and our beliefs are different now. I shouldn't knock her beliefs, because if it works for her, so be it. I don't know if it necessarily is, but not my place. Anyway, so I'll be doing the 10 card reading for this week to see how this energy holds up and how we can navigate through it. So, my energy's on this too. So I'm sure this is going to have a lot to do with what I just spoke about. And that's kind of gives you an idea of how energy card readings work. So when I read people's cards, a lot of it is not really about prediction per se. A lot of it is about how you can navigate. Do you have some hidden talents that you're not using? Do you have some blocks that are holding you back, or old thoughts? I mean, I just realized about my old tapes while we were camping. We had parked over at Dockweiler Beach over in LA and took our trailer, and we had some neighbors that kind of triggered some of my past reactions to things. And, they were nice people and all that, but, just loud at night and right next to our bed. It's just like really kind of inconsiderate. And I kind of think that was just more of a lack of not knowing their space. And it just took me back to my childhood of when my mom got in a fight with the neighbor next door, and it was super scary and all this drama. And it kind of lowered my vibration. So, again, I had to realize, okay, that's not happening right now. These people are really nice. They just don't really know what they're doing, as far as probably not aware of that their voices are really loud and I'm trying to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. So, anyway. I digress. So let's go over the energy and see what these cards have to say. Okay? All right. 5 of Earth. Okay, so energy would say that there's probably a lot of concern around money at this moment. That maybe you are concerned about what things are costing. Talk about crazy. We were down in this one area in Los Angeles, kind of like downtown-ish, and diesel gas was $8, $7.99. So I don't know where they say prices are going down, because nope. So that was kind of crazy. Not everywhere in California is like that. I don't know why that place had it big there, but holy cow, that was insane. All right, so let's see what the energy is that we need to use, or that's maybe blocking us and holding us back. 5 of Air. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So like some of your associations, the 5 of Air is like, it's time to leave some of those situations behind. You might have to leave a job behind. You might have been there too long. Now you need to kind of maybe branch out, and you're not doing it because the energy that's in this area surrounding money is really negative. And I just said that wasn't exactly positive, right? So again, concerns with people with their finances, it's now we have to do something different. That 5 of Air is telling us we can no longer do this if we want to change our circumstances, okay? And because again, money is a vibration, energy is a vibration. Everything is on the subatomical levels or subatomic, I can talk, levels, that's where it starts. Okay, so the things that are happening right now is because it's a response to something that we've all thought about in the past. So the foundation is balance. We really need to get back to this balance of moderation and compromise. And there is a win-win situation in this, even though it might not feel like it, but you got to get balanced. The scales are just out of control, and balance is key to most things. And we probably have to get our emotions in balance and check, okay? I'm not saying ignore them. I'm just saying try to figure out where they're coming from. Like me, I was getting so triggered and so annoyed, probably more than I needed to be, because of what had happened in the past. And it triggered all that stuff of like, oh God, there's going to be a fight. Somebody's going to get hurt. The cops are going to come. This is going to be really uncomfortable. And it wasn't even like that at all. It just wasn't. But see, that's, again, a lot of times we're responding to things that are in the past, and then the gossip brings you back, the negativity brings you back, and we're getting triggered. So let's balance those emotions and look and see where things are actually coming from. What have we learned from our past situations, okay, that can help this? So if we're worried about money struggles, maybe you need to take a loan. Don't worry, money's going to come back to you. This is the Six of Earth. This is usually about receiving money of some sort. So it's one of those things. My grandma always said, darling, if you're worried about money, don't you worry. It always works out. Money shows up when you need it. And money also is a funny little thing. Again, we have the scales with the gold right here. Giving and receiving. Are you the one that's always taking? Are you the one that's always giving? There's a balance that has to be with that as well. And when you start giving, the universe likes that energy too, and then it kind of gives you more money that you can give. So helping those that are less fortunate, or maybe you might be on the receiving end of that. So things do work out. What I've learned though through Grandma's message, always saying that the money shows up when you need it, sometimes you're in that dire situation or that dire energy that's like, oh God, I'm panicking, and then it'll come. We want to shift that energy so you have it to begin with, so you don't have to wait till it shows up only when you need it, because we want a little bit of a cushion. I know I do. All right, so what is for the higher good? What is the life lesson out of this? What's going to come out of this forced change and this negativity that feels a little off kilter? High Priestess, you're going to learn how to use your intuition, and this a lot of times is having patience. This balance card is very much about patience as well. And as I was kind of saying, it took 10 years for my son's band, well, for him to find the place that's more at the pro level. And, but I mean, my gosh, he started at 12, so it's actually been longer than 10 years. So, but by the time he met Johnny and so forth and all that kind of stuff, it finally just clicked. So everything's a stepping stone. And I think what happens when you have a dream and you intuitively know that's what you're supposed to do, but unfortunately, maybe the universe has kind of slowed it down a little bit, or because your energy got sucked up into people's gossip, or you started worrying about, how am I going to pay my bills, which is valid. It's a valid reason to worry. This is trusting that things are going to work out and everything has its timeline. Just because maybe somebody blew up what you think seems fast, that's not usually how it works out. You miss the behind the scenes. Like, my daughter, she's a very successful real estate agent. She had her best year. That was insane last year. And of course, got to balance it out. Like, it's, this year might not be quite the same as last year, but those things take time. She's worked steady, and you're like, oh well, she does this and she's loaded or whatever. It's like, well, not necessarily. It took a while to get up there, and a lot of work and a lot of positive energy and putting yourself out there. So that's what you have to do. Things don't really happen overnight. Everyone only sees the success as it just happened overnight, and that's not necessarily true. Things take time. Do some people blow up? Sure, that's their timeline. So I'm just saying that have some patience. Trust that your gut is going to lead you the right way, get out of your head a little bit. And that is kind of what needs to happen right here so that you can kind of not worry so much about money. Trust the process, okay? So what is around the corner? Two of Air. All right. The Two of Air is going to force you to make this decision because the inability to make a decision, that conflict that you're having that's kind of in the way, it's like a stalemate. It's not going to change. There probably won't be a compromise in this particular case. You want it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So instead of you not making a decision to leave this situation, somebody might do it for you. So how are you going to feel about that? So this is important to realize that this conflict's not going away. You are asked to make a decision or somebody's going to do it for you. Because if you don't make a decision, that is making a decision because you're giving up your own power. Again, here at the Wellness Garden Tool Shed, we are all about claiming your personal power. You know, awakening your inner queens. That course is getting closer. We're getting closer. It's taking a bit of time. Again, everything happens on its own time. I got a little impatient with that, and you know what? That's not good. That's like a scarcity mentality, a fearful mentality, and that will definitely slow things down. Okay, so what is our superpower to help us feel like we're confident in order to move forward, leave the bad situation behind so that we can not worry so much about our finances? Okay, so our superpower is understanding where the triggers come from. This is the Six of Waters. This is your childhood. This is the childhood memories that, like I was saying, you know, I got triggered from some negative experiences because of the loudness and being so close and all these kind of things that it triggered this response. So it is our superpower to go analyze what we're being triggered by and ask yourself, is this the same situation? More than likely it's not. So your reaction to this has something to do with your past. So I would say analyze it. Maybe you're making the past out worse. Maybe you're making it too nice of, you know, not actually dealing with some of the things that were in the past, some of the hard things. It's not good to reminisce and bask and just stay in the past because your brain doesn't really know the difference. So each time you rehash the past that was dark, it kind of lowers that vibration because your brain doesn't know if it's happening right now or not. So it's not good to suppress them either, because if you suppress them and you don't realize where this is coming from, then bam, it kicks you in the face. So I would say let's work through the past, understand what happened, understand it's a life lesson, and we probably chose to have these experiences to help us grow so that we can turn a negative into a positive and to kind of self-analyze and self-reflect so that you can move forward. So like I did, I was like, okay, I'm living in the past, I'm freaking out about all this stuff, I'm afraid some drama's going to happen, it's going to go sideways, and it didn't. So I was all jumbled up inside from something that was triggered from when I was 6 years old to, you know, none of that happened. So I had to think, okay, this is where it came from. I would ask you to do the same thing. So where are your money fears coming from? Are you worried about the future, or are you worried about what's actually happening now? Because that's a lot of it too, you know. Just again, we're not living in the now and what we can do and claim our power. Because when you start finding solutions, that literally kind of gives you that energy of power and what you can do in order to make things go a little smoother or better. And by making a decision to leave something behind is part of it. We're trying to give you your power back. Okay? All right, so what are the outside forces what energy do they have on this particular energy? Ooh, yes. Ego. Do we not see a lot of egoic energy right now? There's so much negativity and so much ego-based thinking that's out there. And, you know, again, you don't want to compare yourself to other people. That's the energy that's causing all this negativity, all this fear, all this fighting, all this conflict, all this money. Because, like, I see a lot with people, like, hating people that have money. And not everyone that has money is bad. Some are bad, but there's some bad people that don't have money too. So, and there's some good people that don't have money. Can we get back to balancing that out? And we this ego thing is what's happening, but we are asked for our higher good to get in touch with our essence, this high priestess. Listen to your intuition. Remember, there's more than this physical body. Okay, there's more to this life than just this earthly plane. Okay, and that's the ego has to exist because we live here and there's a lot of physical things, and we do need money and we need food, and people are attracted to people when it comes to looks or their energy or whatever the case is. There is some of that helps us, do taxes or whatever the case is. But our more important part is our essence, and the energy starts first that can keep the ego in check and allows it to act the way it's supposed to live on this physical plane without all the fear-based thinking. Okay, because really the outside forces are creating lots of fear, and that energy is what's really causing a lot of conflict, because people don't gossip and talk mean about each other when they're feeling good. That's all fear-based stuff. And you don't try to get in these conflicts and all this stuff when your energy's good. So again, all about the energy. So what's the hopes and fears? Nine of Air. The hope is we can finally put this anxiety to rest, because there's a lot of anxiety going on. There's a lot of fear going on. People can't sleep, and we all just want a little sleep. Sometimes it's hormones, but a lot of this is you'll finally get to sleep and relieve your anxiety when you take control. That's what's got to happen here, okay? And sometimes, again, we're making mountains out of a molehill because of childhood experiences. That's why we really need to get in touch with that. And then listen to your gut. Like, is this really a need to be afraid? Or is there something, connect with your psychic self. Connect with your higher power and ask for help. Connect with your angels and ask for help. Connect with your source, God, divine, whatever you call it. Ask for help. And this will ease your anxiety. All right, and then let's see what the outcome is. Seven of Earth. So this is the seeds that you have planted will sprout. Now again, we've had three cards that are telling us to be patient. That again, all of this stuff will work itself out at some point. And this is unnecessary worry. So a lot of this whole message for today is it's time to not worry so much about finances. Yes, I get it. I do the same thing. But that worrying energy is lowering your vibration. And you might even be the one gossiping and stuff. And then kind of listen to what you're listening to. And is it really necessary? It's time to go. This one says it's time to go. Like, this is an energy sucker, and anything that is sucking up your energy, like vampires, energy vampires, it's time to go. Leave it behind. And let's get ourselves in check. You gotta, this is also kind of a detox card. Are you using substances or pills or whatever to balance your emotions, but it's got a little out of control? It's time to balance it. It's also time to reflect and finally look for solutions to empower you so you can figure out what to do. It's all going to work out. The money's going to be there. This is a money card, and it's definitely going to be there. But again, it's balance, giving, receiving. There's a lot of balance here, right? And don't forget, when you give, a lot of times the universe is like, okay, you've been given money, we're going to give you more money so you can give, because the money's always there when you need it. And then the High Priestess is all about connecting with that intuition. It also is a slow-moving card, energy. And this is to really connect with your source before you make that decision to run off, okay? Because connect with that to make the decision, make the decision so somebody doesn't make it for you, because we want to give you your power back. And remember, a lot of the triggers are coming from your childhood, and you really got to self-analyze to see if that's actually happening right now to you. yes, the fear is coming from the outside world. There's so much negativity, so much craziness. It's even hard to catch up. Like I'm done looking at all that stuff for a while, so that you can finally sleep. The Nine of Airs, all of this worry. Sometimes we make mountains out of molehills, but this is such a high anxiety. This card, this is like the nightmare card. Okay, we're just sick of the nightmare and want it to end. But guess what? You plant those seeds and kind of like the seeds I'm planting for this week, guess what? They're going to produce. They're going to produce. This is, again, patience is a virtue. It's an annoying one, of course, but it is a virtue. And this whole energy and the internet and things happening so fast and the AI and everybody's freaking out causing all this energy, it's this chaos or whatever. We just need to slow it down a little bit. We need to balance it out. Things don't happen overnight, as I explained earlier, when I started out this whole video. Plant those seeds that you want to see. Manifestations work. Manifesting works. But you've got to put your energy in check. You can't let the egos of everyone else on the outside just put all this fear into you. You have to check yourself. You got to get your energy right, and then you'll start attracting the right people into your life to help you get to where you want to go. It will also bring synchronicities, and it's time that we notice that, because for the higher good, with all this chaos, we are trying to I think the universe is trying to get us to connect with our intuition and notice signs. Okay, there are so many things out there that are there's signs and synchronicities that are telling you you're on the right path. And when it doesn't feel good and you leave somewhere and you feel like, oh, I don't like that, that's your cue to leave and try something different. So with that, thank you. If you've stayed for this whole video, let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you're freaking out about and how we can help. And leave a comment, leave a heart in the comments if you thought this was a good video and you can resonate with it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps boost the channel and it's free. And if you want to sign up for my newsletter, I have a blog coming out, which actually, it's on trauma bonded relationships. So that should be coming out this week. And I have a newsletter. Again, if you subscribe to my email on my website, wellnessgardentoolshed.com, it's free. I'm not asking for anything. I have a free Shine download method, or Shine method, that helps empower you. Take the test. It's a free, again, it's all free. And then you can always go check out the shop. And if you would like to support me and you like what you're seeing, I have products on the website that I would love to send to you, and so that you can start working and manifesting the stuff that you want to manifest in your life. All right, with that, have a great week, and I'll see you soon.